I was really interested to finally sort of reveal the man behind the curtain on AI as a concept, because there's this notion that there are a bunch of tech bros who are like, yeah, we're going to dump a bunch of IP in a box and we're going to print money, and I never found those people on this project, so I don't know what that experience is. What I found once we pulled back the curtain was a bunch of people who were fans of The Wizard of Oz developing tools that enabled artists to create something better. I think it has implications beyond The Wizard of Oz now, and I think that we needed to demystify that. I've lived through several of these technological innovations. I used to process film photochemically and then moved into the digital era, from digital cinematography into visual effects and computer graphics. And with every one of these transitions in the tools of storytelling, jobs change. They usually grow, they don't shrink, they don't get eliminated, they get adapted. Also, something that's uniquely Sphere. Every frame of the picture in the Sphere is 32 times the resolution of any other movie theater, which means that there's a lot more work to do to create a realistic experience, and artists almost couldn't handle that much extra effort, and now with new tools they can. Because in classic cinema, when you have the audience and you want to show them something specific, you can use shallow depth of field in depth to pull them to a specific subject. You use camera pans, you use dollies to convey a sense of motion. You can use framing and editorial. You can show the audience exactly what you want them to see, as though you're writing a book and they have to read every word in a row. When you're at the Sphere, you're basically just putting them into an environment and then performing in front of them. They can look to the left, they can look to the right, they can look above you. So we found that we had to use sound to pull people's attention, lighting to pull people's attention. And in a way, it's like taking, cinematography and mixing it with theater, and then mixing it with sound design. Well, we still have the quieter moments and we preserve them. And actually, I think those are the easiest ones to make immersive, because you're not trying to get the audience to recreate the experience of running through a field or of climbing a mountain or of doing something extreme where you have to hit them with so much more sensory attention. What you have to do in quieter moments is you have to make sure that the resolution of what the people see approaches reality as much as possible. Sometimes we intentionally gave it a vintage look so that it would remind people that there was a difference between Dorothy's dream and Dorothy's reality. But with these intimate moments, you just let the humans give the performance. And we as humans in an audience are used to looking at Judy's face or Ray Bolger's face or Bert Lahr's face and receiving that emotion. It's going to sound cheesy to say this, but we got a blank check and we did the movie that I would have done, which was The Wizard of Oz. Like, when I go back and I think about it, everyone's like, oh, but what about? And I'm like, nope,